Hi everyone, and welcome back to Fully Playable Games. So in today's video we are going to be heading out and about, and what I'm going to be doing is heading into Maidstone town centre and just having a look around to see what games we can pick up. It's been so long since I've been out looking in like the charity shops, cash converters and even CEX. So yeah, just wanted to do something a bit different, head out and yes, see what games we could find. So let's jump back onto the GoPro and then yeah, we'll see what is out and about. Sorry mate.
Good enough. One on the outside, so you've got the back of the three-seater this way, because then you've got another one. Yeah.
Okay, so now we're back in the games room. We can actually have a look through everything that I managed to pick up. And the first couple of bits that I'm actually going to look at were actually bought off camera at one of my more local charity shops. And yeah, they've asked me in the past not to film in there, so I completely fall in line with what they're asking. But yeah, did get a couple of good pickups there. First one that I saw was this Fallout puzzle. So it's 550 pieces, about 18 inches by 24 inches. And yeah, I picked it up because one, it was Fallout, and two, I haven't seen these before. So yeah, I thought it'd be a good one to chuck on the shelf. I paid £1 for that one. Looking it up online, it goes for about £15 brand new on eBay. Obviously, with it being a puzzle, it's not listed at CEX. Then next up, picked up a PS1. So this is the Model 2 PS1 with the expansion port on the back. It did come with a free game. It's got Worms Platinum disc in there. It does need a bit of a clean up, but from what I remember, I think I've tested it and it does all work. So yeah, just be a bit of a clean up. But I do already have one of these in the collection. So what I'm going to be doing is probably just flipping this on Facebook. Paid £4 for that. Goes for £52 at CEX, £55 on eBay. And then in with that bundle, so that obviously that come with a grey DualShock controller, all the cables, so that's all good to go. But what was also in the bag was one of the crystal DualShocks. So for those of you that have been watching the channel for a while, you know that I love collecting my controller variants. And this is one I don't have. I've got quite a wide variety of DualShock controllers as well now. But yeah, didn't have this one in the collection, so really glad to add that in. That one goes for about £10 at CEX, £20 on eBay. And yeah, I haven't put any purchase price to that because it obviously come in with the PlayStation. And then the other thing that I got from the charity shop was a Nintendo Wii. So this was a Wii, it's one of the model ones that come with the GameCube compatibility. It also come with a balance board as well. But what I did have to do is I had to pull off the rubber feet off the bottom because they'd gone all sort of like liquidy and gungy and horrible. So yeah, I pulled those off. But what I'll have to do is obviously before I resell it, I will pick up some replacement feet. They're only a couple of quid. So paid £4 for that one as well, £28 at CEX, and £50 on eBay. And then we get into the bits and pieces that we found out and about. So I'm going to start off with the charity shops that we went into first. And the first shop we went into was, I think we went into Cash Converters first. And then the first charity shop that I went into was Making a Difference in Maidstone. So I was looking out the back, I had a small basket of games and managed to find a couple of PS3 games. So the first one that we've got is Mag. Unfortunately, this is a multiplayer only game. I will say that the guy in the store did tell me it was multiplayer only, and I decided, yeah, I was just going to pick it up anyway, just to sort of add it into the collection. It is complete, which is good, but unfortunately, because it is an online only game, you can't actually do anything with it because the servers have all been shut down, and yeah, it was a bit disappointing. But yeah, I knew what I was getting into when I bought it, and I'll be honest, standing here now, I really don't know why I did buy it. There was no reason to, but yeah, that is just literally going to be a shelf filler. So we paid £1.25 for that. It still goes for £4 at CEX, and £2.50 on eBay. I don't understand why, because obviously you can't play it. And then the other one that I got was Mod Nation Racers, and I have to say this was a great game. Really enjoyed this. Really sort of gave you the feeling of sort of Mario Kart, and yeah, really enjoyed it. What I thought was unique about this one was the fact that it gave you the ability to make your own custom karts. So you could customize them and style them up sort of as you wanted. And I actually think this probably come before the sort of customization option in the Mario Kart series. But yeah, really enjoyed this one. Definitely one that I will be popping in to the PS3 when I want a bit of sort of something casual to play. Mod Nation, we paid another, once again, £1.25 for that. £3 at CEX, £5 on eBay. Then the next one was a very interesting game. So this was picked up, so the rest of the charity shop pickups were all picked up from the Sue Rider in Maidstone. And yeah, this one, did not enjoy this at all. The reason I picked it up was because it's not something I've ever seen before, and yeah, didn't really know a lot about it. And that is Mad Maestro. So essentially what this is this is a PS2 game where you pretend to be a orchestra conductor. And yeah, I have to say it was not easy to get to grips with, and yeah, I just did not enjoy it, really didn't. But yeah, it was as I say, it was something different. Not a game that I'd seen anywhere before, so decided just to sort of pick it up and grab it. Mad Maestro, I paid a £5 for that. So Sue Rider can be really expensive for their games, and yeah, they're all, I would say they're all on the high end. But yeah, so I paid £5 for that. Goes for £6 at CEX, £10 on eBay. So still got it cheaper than those two places, but £5 normally more than I would pay for a game out of a charity shop. Next up, I'm going to do these next two together, and that is Ninja Gaiden 2 and Ninja Gaiden 3 on the Xbox 360. So these are absolutely brilliant games. I love it whenever I get a chance to play Ninja Gaiden games, and yeah, just glad that I've actually got two of them now for the 360 collection, because yeah, I think these on the 360 were actually probably one of the better ones, or what they got really good when they hit the 360. So yeah, really glad to finally have these in the collection. So I paid £2 for Ninja Gaiden 2. That goes for £2.50 on CEX and £5 on eBay. Ninja Gaiden 3, paid £4 for that one. Goes for £3 at CEX and £5 on eBay. So yeah, once again, you can see how the prices are all over the shop. They're definitely doing their research on eBay as to what they're selling for. The next game we've got is Destiny Warriors 7 on the PS2. So yeah, I've played a couple of Destiny Warriors games. I think they're really good games. I've enjoyed them whenever I've played them. So whenever I see one that I don't currently have in the collection, I do tend to pick it up. And yeah, they had number 7 there, so decided to grab it to add it into the collection. That one goes for £3. We paid £3 for that, sorry. Goes for £3 at CEX and £6 on eBay. And then the last pickup from the charity shops was a game that there was no way I was going to leave it, because I grab these whenever I see them, and that is Dead or Alive 5. So one of my favourite fighting series. And yeah, any Dead or Alive game that I can get, I do pick up. So yeah, saw this there, grabbed it as soon as I saw it, and yeah, really chuffed to have that in the collection. I need to actually go through and find out what ones I'm missing. I know that I'm missing a couple of the beach volleyballs. I'm missing some of the mainline games as well, so I need to go through, have a look across all the platforms as to what ones I've got. But yeah, really happy to have that one in. So that one, we paid £3 for that. Goes for £2.50 at CEX, £5 on eBay.
Okay, let's fight. I am ready.
Get ready, fight! So now we get into the CEX pickups, and I have to say this was probably one of my most interesting trips out to CEX, because it wasn't smooth sailing, but we'll get to that in a bit. The first game that I picked up was a game called Fairy Tale Fighters, and yeah, I saw the cover for this, looked on the back, and it just looked absolutely brilliant. Once I got into it, it wasn't as good as I was hoping. Control wise, it wasn't very intuitive, and yeah, there was points where I was really struggling to work out how to basically fight back against the enemies on the screen. It's one that I am going to go back to. I'm going to sort of look into it a bit more as to sort of how to play it, because yeah, it's just got that sort of art style that allows it to be completely nuts and yeah, just a bit psychotic really. So yeah, it is definitely one that I'm not going to be leaving. I want to sort of really get into it and really sort of play it through as much as I can. So that one, we paid £6 for that. Looking it up online, it goes for £12 on eBay. Obviously we won't have any CEX prices because obviously we bought them from CEX. And it is complete as well, which is really good. Next up, so we've got a game that I've been needing to create, to basically complete a trilogy of games that I actually have to admit I really enjoyed, and that is Watch Dogs 2. So I've played and completed both Watch Dogs 1 and Watch Dogs Legion, but this was the one that I was missing. I had it digitally, but just never had a chance to actually sit down and play it. But as per normal, even if I got it digitally, I wanted to pick it up physically, just so I had a copy. And yeah, managed to pick it up for £4 in CEX. And yeah, from what I've played of it so far, really good. I think I played through the whole sort of first mission, where you've got to basically get into a CTOS relay station and basically wipe out your record, your hacking record. So yeah, really good, really enjoyed it, and definitely one that I'm going to be going back to and spending the time to complete it, because that way I've gone through and completed all 3 of the Watch Dogs games. So yeah, paid £4 for that one. Looking it up online, it goes for about £5. So yeah, but really chuffed to actually finally have the complete trilogy in physical. Then next up, I actually picked up a couple of PS5 games. So yeah, every time I go in CEX, I look at the PS5 games and nothing really sort of jumps out at me. And even in my collection itself, I've got, I think I'm about 15 PS5 titles. I've just really been getting the ones that I sort of want to play on sort of day one. But yeah, found these ones. This first one is one that I actually had in my Amazon basket. So it was sitting in my Amazon basket waiting to purchase, but I actually managed to pick it up from CEX before I was able to buy it off Amazon. And that is Scarlet Nexus. Now, I will be honest with you, it has been a while since I picked these up. And I know I've played the game, because I've got it marked down as gameplay done on my list here, but I can't remember it. So you will be seeing footage of it now, but yeah, I just can't remember it. And if I'm honest, that's not a good thing in my eyes, because I mean, everything else that we've picked up here I can remember playing. So the games there really sort of stuck with me. But yeah, for some reason I just can't remember this one. So I'm going to definitely stick it in my PS5 once I finish. But yeah, there's not really a lot I can say about it because I can't remember it. So we picked up Scarlet Nexus for £8, and then it goes for £10 on eBay. I think it was about that on Amazon as well, but obviously Amazon would have been a brand new one. Then the next one that I picked up, this is another PS5 game. And the reason I picked this up is because I've seen a lot of people talking about it when it first came out online, and then saying how much of a great game it was. And that is Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. So this is a remake, or sort of re-release for the PS5. And yeah, it's basically, it is a horror visual novel. That was what I was trying to think of. It's a horror visual novel. And yeah, I really enjoyed what I played of it so far. I've not got to any of the horror elements yet, but from what I've seen online, I've seen a couple of playthroughs of this, and yeah, it gets really dark. Really does. So yeah, looking forward to jumping into this. I like the way that it's sort of got all over it, and even when you boot up the game, basically says this game is not suitable for children or those who are easily disturbed. Definitely a game that I'm going to be playing, and one that I'm really happy to have in the collection. So we paid £20 for that one. Looking it up on eBay, it goes for about £23. So yeah, they're about level with each other. Then next up, I picked up a PSP game. So the PSP, we've got a fairly good PSP collection, but it's definitely been unloved recently. We've not added many games, even towards the tail end of the boot fair season, I don't think. I can't remember what we've got coming up, but yeah, we've not really been adding any new games to it recently. So I picked up Gangs of London, and this is from the makers of The Getaway, and yeah, you can definitely see that it is it's made by the same studio, very sort of inspired by it as well. And yeah, really good. Once again, not played too much of it. I literally sort of played it enough to get some footage for the video. But yeah, as and when I can, it definitely will be one that I will give another shot to. But yeah, I think nowadays there are, you want to play games like this, there are so many more games, and so probably better ones as well. Wouldn't say it's aged too great. But yeah, it was still, from what I've played of it, looks like a good game, but just need to put some time into it. That one we paid £3.50 for, goes for £5 on eBay. Then next up, we've got a game that has been, so it's a 360 game, and it's actually been really high up my wish list for quite a while. It was released on both the 360 and the PS3. And I was just happy to get any copy I could of that. And it is Saw. So this is the first game that was released. There's actually two versions of this, two Saw games released. So you've got this one and then you've got Saw 2. This is the better one out of the two from what I've seen. And yeah, I actually remember playing this years and years ago. I want to say it was on the PS3. But I can't remember. I really can't remember. I know that I played it briefly. I know I didn't get too much. Didn't have too much on it. But yeah, really wanted to pick it up. It was a game that I really wanted to get and actually be able to sit down and play through. And I know that when I was capturing the footage for this, I think I was at least an hour I was into it. I think one night, I remember it was one night before one of the boot fairs, and I just couldn't sleep. Knew that I had to be up at sort of like 3:30, 4 o'clock, whatever time it was, about 3:30 I had to be up so I could leave to get to the boot fair on time. And yeah, ended up sort of went to bed at 11, just couldn't sleep, ended up getting back up and thought, you know what, I'm going to stick this in, capture the footage and play it as much as I can. So yeah, got a couple of at least an hour into it. But yeah, really chuffed with that. Definitely one that I'm going to be going back and playing some more. If I remember rightly, I don't think it is backwards compatible with the Xbox One. I think when I was playing it, I was actually playing it on my original 360. But Saw, we paid £6 for that. Looking it up online, it goes for £15 on eBay. Right, this next one. So this is an Xbox One game, and I have to say, this was probably the most disappointing game out of everything that we've picked up. Even worse than Mad Maestro. And that is Micro Machines World Series. Absolutely gutted with this. It was, for me, it just lost all of the charm of the original Micro Machines games. So I played the original Micro Machines on the Mega Drive. Absolutely loved them. Saw this on the shelf and I thought, you know what, so this is going to be a modern version of those games. I am well up for it. But it just wasn't. It felt cheap, it felt horrible, and to make it even worse, it's an online game as well, so soon enough this will be nothing more than a drinks coaster. Yeah, I was gutted with this one, really was, because I love the Micro Machines games, and to me it does tarnish the memory of it. It really does. I really hate sort of being negative about games on the channel, but equally I have got to be honest. If I don't like a game, I will say. And yeah, unfortunately, I was just so disappointed with it. It really was. So yeah, Micro Machines, we paid £6 for that. Goes for £8 on eBay. Yeah. Just gutted. Then next up, I will say this next one I haven't got any footage for. I wasn't able to capture the footage for it, unfortunately, and that is Mario Tennis on the 3DS. So yeah, anytime I see a 3DS that is a 3DS game that's a good price, I will always pick it up, because I think my 3DS collection definitely needs work, because there's not a lot there. I've got loads and loads of DS games, but yeah, the 3DS games are actually a bit harder to get hold of. You don't find them as often at places like the boot fairs, and even charity shops. But yeah, I saw this there, and absolutely love the sort of Mario Tennis games, Sonic Tennis. I think just tennis games in general. I can't actually think of a tennis game that I've played that I didn't enjoy. So yeah, I wanted to pick this up, add this to the collection. I think actually we've got, I swear we got one recently, didn't we? Yes, we did. Mario Power Tennis on the GameCube. So we picked this up from Dan at the boot fair. So yeah, decided to just grab that to put that in, and then at least when I'm out and about, I've got a tennis game that I can take with me. So paid £5 for that one. Looking it up online, it goes for about £9 on eBay. Then we get to the final game that I picked up from CEX, and this was the one that had to be the problem one. So I finally picked up a copy of Mario Kart 8 on the Wii. So I have already got a copy on the Switch, but wanted to get a copy for the Wii, so that I had a physical to add into the Wii collection. Sorry, the Wii U collection. And yeah, one of the big problems you have with the Wii U games is that they suffer really, really badly with disc rot. And unfortunately, when you pick up a disc, you look at it, it will look pristine. I've had a couple of discs now that have looked absolutely pristine, and then you put them into the console just won't read them. So yeah, unfortunately, that was the case with this. So I thought, you know what, I think because it was a couple of days afterwards that I actually decided to test it. And I was like, CEX have sort of a one-day return window, and I was like, oh, I've missed out on that. And then I realised that actually no, you get a 24-month warranty on it. So I went back to the store, and yeah, they had one in, so they swapped the disc over for me. And I actually went and done this morning. So I'm actually filming this on Sunday, so the Sunday before it goes live. So I popped back in this morning, they had another one, they swapped it over for me, and yeah, everything was good. So paid £5 for that one. But obviously the bigger problem with having to go back and pick up or swap out the Mario Kart 8 disc was that I would end up looking and I ended up buying some more games. So yeah, I sort of had a look about and saw these extra games, and then I just ended up buying them. So this first one actually was behind the till so the guy was off getting one of the last game that I'm going to show you here. And I saw it there, and I was like, when he got back, I was like, oh, how much have you got for that one? And then he turned it over, it had a £5 sticker on it, so I was like, yeah, I'll have that, definitely. And that is Gauntlet 2 on the NES. So, yeah, I remember playing the original Gauntlet on PC back in the day. And yeah, I've seen a lot of people playing the Gauntlet games on sort of older consoles, and yeah, saw that there, saw that it was only a £5, so decided to just grab it. I will say that these games that I've picked up this morning from CEX, haven't had a chance to play them, so I'm hoping that between now and sort of tomorrow evening, when I'm going to edit the video, I'll be able to capture the footage. But if not, that is why there's no footage for these games. So yeah, it is in really good condition. There's a bit of discoloration to the label, but the label is fully intact. No rips, no marks, which is really, really good. So as I say, paid £5 for that one. Looking it up online, it goes for about £14 on eBay. So really chuffed with that. Then next up, we've got a PS4 game, and I'm going to read it off my screen. So is it Kodo Dama, The 7 Mysteries of Fukushiwa on the PS4? That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to stick to it. It's probably completely wrong. But yeah, saw this there. They had absolutely truckloads of these. They probably had about 20 of these in stock. So I was like, it was a £5. I was getting these other games, so I was like, I'll chuck it in. It's a PS4 game. I wanted to pick it up. I'll be honest, I've got no clue about it. I think it is a visual novel, but once again, haven't played it, don't know anything about it. So yeah, I will give it a go, and yeah, see what it's like. So paid £5 for that one. Looking it up online, it goes for £12 on eBay. And then these final two to me are quite big hitters. I was really glad to grab them actually. This next one actually is it's a Nintendo 64 cart only, and I thought they'd really underpriced this. Didn't realise that cart only went for this little. I'm going to open it up because it's still in the plastic. If I can. So as I say, it's cart only, but it is Clay Fighters 63 1/3 on the N64. So yeah, I know that the Clay Fighters games can go for quite a lot of money, but yeah, this actually doesn't go for as much as I thought. Not cart only anyway. So cart only, it goes for £15 on eBay. If it was boxed, you'd be looking at sort of £100 plus. But yeah, I saw it there. It's not one that I see too often, so I decided to grab it. There's a tiny little mark on the front artwork, but other than that, it just needs a bit of a wipe over, a bit of a clean. And yeah, so I only paid a tenner for it. So yeah, really happy to have that in the collection. And what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to get it put up on the N64 shelf, so it's there front and center all of the time. So yeah, really happy with that. But this next one was one that has been on my radar for absolutely ages. It is the second part of a 2-part series, and yeah, I will admit I was actually looking at it. I don't think it might have been last night actually, because I was watching a video online, and this game got brought up. So yeah, I was looking it up, seeing how much it was going for, and then yeah, went into CEX this morning, saw it sitting there, and I was like, I can't leave it. And I know that the wife was there standing behind me, sort of giving me daggers in the back of the head, but I just couldn't leave it. And that was Parasite Eve 2 on the PS1. So yeah, I've been really wanting to play these games. Obviously, Parasite Eve, the original one, was only released in Japan and the US. To get even the Japanese version runs at about £30 to £35 complete. But if you want a US version, you're looking at sort of anywhere between £100 and £120 complete. So yeah, I will get it at one point. But yeah, so we've got Parasite Eve 2, which was the only one released in the UK. And yeah, I saw the price of it, knew that it was cheaper than what it was going for on eBay. So I was like, no, I'm going to grab it because it's one that I want for the collection. It's one that I want to play. And it's cheaper than what it's going for on eBay. So yeah, it is complete as well, which is really good. And apart from a small crack on the front of the case, the overall condition of it is really, really good. So yeah, paid £32 for that one. And it goes for about £45 on eBay. So yeah, really, really chuffed to finally have that in the collection. I think this is going to be one of the first games that I play after we finish filming. And that is everything. So yeah, really, really happy with everything we've picked up. And yeah, looking forward to actually spending some time playing through some of the games that we've got as well. So before we wrap up the video, let's quickly run through the totals. So our total spend today was £144. And if we'd got everything that we could from everything that we picked up from the charity shops, if we'd got that in CEX, it would have been £114. And if we picked everything up from eBay, we'd be looking at £359 and 50p. So yeah, absolutely brilliant. Some amazing games to add to the collection, and some that I'm actually really looking forward to playing. I'm hoping that tonight I get the time to sit down and spend some time with both Clay Fighters and Parasite Eve. Two games I really, really want to have a go at. So with that is going to wrap up today's video. But before you head off, if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you're not already, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell to be kept up to date when I upload new videos. And yeah, with that said, thank you so much for watching today. Really hope you enjoyed the video. And I'll see you on the next one. Alright, bye.